back then.
Ah, fucking sprayed me in the face. So a rock took out my radiator, which was a part the guy had recently replaced on the vehicle. And I'm kind of stuck here till it cools off because I can't even remove the cap.
Those are some nice cables though. Brand new spark.
What the fuck? How does that happen? It took out the hose and the radiator? What kind of rock is this? Alright, story time. Due to the high stress of the situation, I didn't really explain much going on, and when stuff got really stressful, I quit recording. After the motor had a bit of a chance to cool off, I tried turning it over, and it was seized solid. I definitely was in a panic. I let it block at like 30 degrees, tried again, seized solid, ended up going home, or home-ish, and having put batteries in the walkie-talkie, drove down there with Old Glory, had Chase hop in the seat, hooked a chain to the front bumper and Old Glory's rear hitch, and did a 40-mile-per-hour tow at the blinker on along the highway, and then on the Benner Pike, and dropped the truck off at my dad's house, pulled the plugs, started soaking it in PB Blaster, repping on the crank with a breaker bar, nothing. Really got to thinking that what was going on the next day at work, and my theory ended up being that, well, it was perfectly fine when I pulled over. The engine wasn't running weird, and I wasn't suspicious that there was a major overheat going on. So, my theory was that because it was very hot, but because the engine was running, it wasn't so hot that it was burning the oil as it was splashing up in there. And the cool, fresh supply of oil was keeping her happy. But then when I stopped the engine, the piston rings quit moving, everything stayed still, the cylinder's very hot, there's no longer fresh oil being splashed up there, and then it got hot enough to burn what was on the rings. Carbon residue, maybe, but more importantly, it would have left the rings and the wall completely dry, metal on metal contact, which is never supposed to happen. And I feel like that theory was further reinforced because when I got home from work, we'll just show the video. Motherfuckers, motherfucker! So this thing's been soaking all night, spark plugs aren't in it, and I gave it a little crack back and it just slipped. It's easy to turn! It's easy to turn! I don't even feel where it bound before! There's no resistance! And I don't think I broke a connecting rod. I pushed up and it kind of like lifted the wheels up a little, nothing happened. And then I just pulled it down and I didn't even get to put all torque on it. It just broke and started rotating. And it was easy to push back the next way and I didn't feel the spot it was stopping on before. Alright. Alright, the exhaust smells like PB Blaster, which is appropriate. Doesn't smell like engine oil, which is good. Nothing sounds goofy here. All that PB Blaster's burning away, and that's the only burning smell I smell. That's a beautiful sound. The choke slid off. This guy definitely idles smoother. And steams. Guess it's probably a side effect of the cat or something. Look at that, water comes out of the exhaust. Now, I know you might be thinking that looks like smoke coming out the exhaust, but that is just steam. It doesn't smell like engine oil. And Old Glory doesn't have, it's straight piped, so there are no cats to hold such a... Old Glory, actually, when I put it in drive, started steaming a bit, but it doesn't last long because it doesn't have cats. Now, considering the fact that that radiator dying almost took the motor with it, I bought a aftermarket 3-core radiator for like 190 bucks. Gotta wait for it to come in the mail. And I'm gonna put a screen or chicken wire or something in front of it because I need to give that thing a little more protection. It definitely doesn't need a radiator that cools more. The original one was working great, but I want to be able to stick some shit in front of the radiator and not have to worry about obstructing the flow. Also, I paid $1,500 for this truck. Actually, $1,400. The guy gave me $100 back when because he forgot to mention the rear gas tank was rusted out and removed. So it originally came with a 351, and the oil pan rusted out, and that caused the motor to seize when it ran out of oil. And he put a rebuilt 302 in it. And I actually have a spare Holley carburetor that he said had a vacuum leak. The choke is sticking on the Eldebrock, so I might just convert it to manual choke because I'd rather be in control of it anyways. What's going on here? My brain died. Anyways, the motor actually has less than 10,000 miles on it, and that's part of why it starts so easily and runs so good.